Welcome to the show that takes up no more than 5 minutes of your time, but could help you gain massive real estate knowledge. It's 5 Minutes in Real Estate with best-selling author Shane Willis.
Well, hello, it's Shane Willis, best-selling real estate expert, bringing you this nice hurricane episode. If you're in the area at all, or listening to me, we are dealing with, or has turned on the Weather Channel ever in the last 24 hours, we are dealing with what's going to become Hurricane Gorodon here. Looks like it's a very, very fast hurricane. So that's the blessing. I've seen hurricanes come in and just sit there and churn and just dump water. So don't have the hurricane shutters up or anything like that. It is a strong tropical storm. They're predicting that it will hit Category 1 hurricane before it hits. And the one guy that none of us want to see in the area, Mr. Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel, has made up camp in Biloxi. And if you watch the Weather Channel as much, I'm sure they would make all the sounds to make it be just a horrible, horrible storm. And I'm sure there is going to be some damage. You don't get even a Cat 1 hurricane and not have some damage. So praying everybody's going to stay safe. I know my 16-year-old loved the fact that she didn't have to go to school today. So it was a 4-day weekend, 4-day Labor Day weekend for her. My wife was wanting to know how she could not go to work today. I was like, I don't think it works that way. But she's all upset because her day off this week is Wednesday, which is tomorrow. And, well, the hurricane's supposed to come over tonight. So we will chat tomorrow and let you know how we fared. I'm sure we'll be fine. Anyways, I know you didn't tune into this podcast to talk about hurricanes, but it is news right now. Today I was just going to talk about the rental trap. I had talked to some people over the weekend, over Labor Day weekend. I had a good time, had a good grill out, had some family over, and then had caught up with some friends and was chatting with one of my friend's kids who just graduated college and they're renting a place. They were talking about how much of their income goes towards rent. He said, we got to have 2-3 roommates just to afford a place anymore. And I was like, that's actually true. And it is a rental trap that's hurting a lot of people, not just, college age or, they just recently graduated college and now they got student loan debts too. But I saw some interesting statistics as I prepped for this episode. There was a recent article by Apartment List addressing the rising rents. So I'm going to put a link to this article over in the notes. Our national rent index is up 0.1% month over month. Year over year, we're up 1.2%. So the rents have risen 1.2%. Now, it might not seem like a lot. $25, $30, $40, $50. And that's just year over year. If you remember a couple episodes back, I was talking about one of my rentals. The lady has been living there for 4 years. I've never went up on her rent. I was charging her $800 a month. She put me on auto pay. It was a great tenant. Hardly had any issues. And so I never went up. She finally bought a house. I was all happy for her. She was able to go out and buy a house. So when I put it back on the market, instead of $800 a month, it was $1,000 a month. I had 17 applications within the first 48 hours of going on the market. When I looked, I probably could have got $1,050, even $1,075 for it. But I try and go a little under on some of them. And I thought $1,000 a month was an additional $200 a month for me. So, good morning. So another $2,400 a year pays for the insurance and taxes at the place, just on the increase. Rents increases is the article, going back to that. Rents increased month over month in 62 of the nation's 100 largest cities. Currently, nearly half, 47% of households are cost burdened with rent. And that's what I want to talk about. What do they say with cost burden? Paying more than 30% of their household, their income for housing. So they're paying more than 30% of their income for housing. Now get this article goes on. We got some wind kicking up. I don't know if you can hear that with the new AirPods or not, but if so, I apologize. This is where it gets really interesting. 25%. 25% total of 11 million Americans are severely burdened, meaning paying more than 50% of their income for housing. 50% of their income for housing. And some of them started at 33, 34. But as rents have continued to rise, there's not a lot of people out there that are like me that will just leave the rent the same for years and years and years. I know a lot of landlords that go up 25, 50 bucks every renewal. Yep, we will renew your lease. It's another 30 bucks a month. You know, that's just inflation right now. It's just the way rent goes. And if you move out, great. We'll probably go up $90. There was a report I did earlier this year. I think it was towards the beginning of the year that said last year, 50% of landlords were happy when someone moved out because they knew they could raise the rent even more. Kind of makes sense. But it catches you in a rental trap. When I go to rent out my own properties, I do get some people aggravated with me because I demand that everybody on the lease, anybody that's over the age of 18 has to be on the lease. Anybody on the lease makes 3 times the rental amount. I don't want you more than 33%. Now, you know, I did have one tenant where the rent was going to be $1,000 a month. He made 7. She was a stay-at-home mom. I was okay with that. I was okay at that. Because it wasn't, 3 times. It was 6 and 7 times. Okay, that's fine. Now you're talking about 20 some odd percent, 18% of your income is going to pay for housing alone. But now you start talking about 11 million Americans are at 50% or higher. Now let's start talking about Central Florida and Florida in general. Florida is an older state as far as the population is concerned. If we start spending 50% on households, how much more are we going to spend for medication? Is that where things start to come into play where, hey, do I eat or buy my medication? I don't know. But that's a trap that a lot of people get caught in. So what's the alternative? Well, I don't know. Here's a big shocker. How about buying? Shane, I don't have enough down payment. Don't tell me that. There's so many programs out there. There's grants out there we can use. There's all kinds of stuff. It's just a matter of being able to take the move and understand it is an investment that you're making one way or another. If you're paying a rent, if you're renting one of my properties, you're paying my mortgage. Don't tell me you're not paying a mortgage. You're paying my mortgage. You're paying my mortgage off for me. As an investor, should be something that you're thinking about. As a renter, you should seriously be thinking about buying something, especially with the rates as low as they still are. We're going into fall now. There's less competition right now. So you're going to start to see a little bit of inventory rise. There's less properties out there to see. Although I just said inventory is going to rise. I think inventory will rise in some price points. Those starter price points, I think you're going to see a little bit of inventory rise. Demand's still going to be strong. But why in the world would you get caught up in that rental trap? Now, if you just signed a year lease, or you're only 3 months into a year lease, now it's not the time to buy unless you're willing to break that lease. And that can cost you 2 months, if not more. And I'm definitely not telling anybody to break a lease. So don't make sure none of the lawyers think I'm telling people to break leases. I didn't. I'm just saying you really need to start considering, maybe even now, it's September, maybe even now you start considering if 2019, the year that I become an actual homeowner, so that as an investment over the next 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, this would make much, much more sense. Especially if you lock in a rate of 30 years, then you're not going to see that increase or that rental trap as you continue to rise. As an investor, you can make a property cash flow now. Think about what happens as rent continues to rise. That property that I was renting out for $800 a month, I was making a profit on that one. It wasn't a big one, but I was making a profit already. Now I was able to go up $200 a month, but I just added $2,400 to my bottom line. Because I have a 30-year fix on there. So it doesn't make any sense not to do that. All right. I'm going to go ready for a hurricane. That's all I got for you today. As always, if you've not subscribed to get the tips, tricks, graphs, infographics, get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. That's 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also asking everybody to go like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Shane Willis, the Realtor. Finally, get over to your player choice. Hit subscribe, hit like, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up. I got a lot of hearts over on SoundCloud the other day. I like that. I probably had about 15 episodes with 2 or 3 hearts each. All of a sudden, my email started going off, going, hey, so-and-so, like, it wasn't the same person, too. You know how that one person, like, go through and heart everything. No, it was different people, so shout out to SoundCloud there. But get over to your player choice, hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a heart, what have you. And finally, I end the podcast the same way every time. If you found any value in this or any other episode, I don't ask for any money. I do ask that you share it on social media. Stay safe, everyone.